Today's the Feast of St. Blaise, and so after the homily, I'll get in line here and do the throat blessing. St. Blaise famously, as he was himself being carried off to prison, was asked to pray and heal a young boy who had a fish bone caught in his throat. And at St. Blaise's command, that fish bone was coughed up. You know, it might sound good that, St. Blaise, he must have been this great healer of sorts. Well, he healed in that moment from a place where he was already captive. And you know, I think when we ask, what does healing look like? It's hard to describe it, but I think it's described well in the first reading today. When St. Paul says, not only do we boast of our good things in Jesus, but we boast even of our afflictions. Or the word that's more precise in the Greek is tribulation. And it translates as that which is like being pressed or pushed down, pressure upon it. That whenever you go through things that just feel like too heavy to bear, St. Paul says, we even rejoice in them. Why? Because knowing that affliction or tribulation produces endurance. Just like any athlete that remains and stays in the workouts and goes and fights, they realize they grow in endurance. The hard thing in the Christian life is often the Lord is asking us to trust in Him while we endure those things that feel like heavy pressure. That He's there with us in it. Where? On the cross. You know, the word endurance in the Greek here more specifically means to remain under. Like, how do I endure, Lord? How do I persevere? To remain under. Remain under what? To remain under the crosses that we have until He lifts them from us. And let me be clear, He has certain crosses He asks us to carry that are just difficult, things out of our control. And yet there's certain crosses He wants us to put down. Things like lies about yourself, fears or anxieties about His goodness for you, right? These are intermingled within us, and those are the things He wants to heal, even though there's other things out of our control that sometimes He asks us to endure and wait upon. Because when we do that, St. Paul says, it produces proven character. Not just any kind of character, but proven character, almost like a bridge that has been tested and proven that it can carry the weight, not just for its own glory, but for the weight of transferring others. Pope John Paul II said that the real goal of human beings is to become a bridge, not a barrier, between God and His people. And yet, how do you become a bridge? But with proven character, that people can turn to you and trust that you can bear the weight of their own afflictions. But that costs a lot to do it yourself and endure for a while. And lastly, that proven character brings hope. Hope, which I think is the number one virtue that the world's still looking for Christians. Because when you have Christian hope, that even amidst difficult things, He still provides. What does He provide? He provides love. The love that Christians have that the whole world needs. Through the intercession of St. Blaise, may we experience the healing love of Jesus Christ in our afflictions.